what if I just told you that you can hire your personal assistant for free? This is something that I just did, and the fact that I started reading about it in the book, The 4-Hour Workweek, I know that it's very important. So what I promise you is that at the end of the video, you will have your virtual assistant hired. Okay? And also, I'm going to do it in 3 ways, which is I'm going to explain to you how to do it. I'm going to explain to you the process of doing it and how to continue to do it. And the third, I'm going to give you a secret of mine. Awesome. So, the first thing that I'm going to speak of is how, okay? The first thing, the first principle, the first layer that you have to comprehend is it's 2 letters, 1 word, it's AI. Okay, before you jump into conclusions, it's not your ordinary AI video, okay? It's not the ordinary videos when I give you like 1 or 2 prompts. I'm gonna give you and explain to you the process. Okay, so I'm reading right now the 4-Hour Workweek, and I just got into the chapter that talks about outsourcing. I was like, okay, this is a cool chapter, it's awesome. And he was even giving the story of someone who writes, who's a writer and script writer and a publisher, and he says, he did it for his entire life. He works from Monday to Friday, 9 to 5 every day. And one way he decided that, he will outsource his work, his life. So he outsourced, he got a virtual assistant. He's in the US and he got a virtual assistant from India. And he was speaking about it beautifully. He was talking about his experience. One of them was he had an email to write. So he obviously like related to his work and stuff, but also he did it for his life. As an example, his wife was literally mad at him because he didn't get the cash out of the bank. Okay, so she was mad and everything, and he wanted help, because that was like very stressful for him. So he gave to his personal assistant. He was like, hey, so my mother's my wife is mad at me. I didn't get cash out of the bank, and I was just want to tell her because I forgot to, and just want to tell her that I'm sorry, and that she also forgets things sometimes. Just in the past month, she forgot her wallet twice, right? She literally lost her wallet twice. And the next day he woke up and her personal assistant sent him the email, and it's like, hello dear wife, I know that I can get forgetful sometimes, and I just want to say that I'm sorry. And then another like he goes back to the line and says, but this doesn't mean that I don't love you all the time. And also like sent her a picture of an e-card. When she presses it, there's 2 bears and like hugging, and says, I can hug you anytime you want. And it's like, this he was so gassed up about it. It was like, what? That's awesome. She kept the good part, my apology part, but they got out the jabs part when he was, giving jabs back, hitting her with saying that she also forgets stuff and she lost her wallet twice this month. And he was so happy with it. I was like, oh, that's awesome. And he was also talking about outsourcing with different stuff, like the bills and the importance of having like personal assistants, especially abroad, because like he worked at with $25 per hour, and he was paying the virtual assistant $1 to $4 per hour. So it was a win-win for him. And he even like he even talks like in depth about it, is that sometimes even if the cost of the assistant is higher than your cost, it's still gonna be a win. And you're like, what? And he explains that if you work 5 days a week, 50 weeks per year, so it's $25 an hour, and there's this assistant that costs $30 an hour. Okay, so you say, well, it's higher, but also when you do the math, like, so this personal assistant, you'll pay her $30 an hour, but also she will give you back 1 day of your week. So she will free up 1 day of your week. And he states that, and he says, if you have the offer of paying this amount of dollars, it's like $100 or something, and you will have 1 day free up, like you will work from Monday to Thursday every week. Will you buy? Everyone will say obviously. And he stated that that's basically what it is. And you're like, dude, that's the next level of outsourcing. And this is just explaining, and I'm giving you here like one of the classics of entrepreneurship books of all time, 4-Hour Work Week, right? Every entrepreneur has read it once in his life at least. They know its importance and its value and everything. And he speaks about these assistants. So obviously, you have to get a virtual assistant. Awesome. So here we talked about an interesting notion, which is costs. It's like if it costs you $1 to $4 an hour and you get paid $25 an hour, it's an awesome deal. You have to take it anytime, right? And you have to, like, imagine doing it. It takes you 1 hour of work while someone can do it for like $1 to $4 and you get paid $25. It just doesn't make any sense to you to do it yourself. You'll pay that person, you will get the profit, you will get an hour of your time that you can delegate to do more important stuff. Which of your choosing? Okay, awesome. So this will get me on how to get your personal assistant. I know, I talked about all of these notions. And as reading the book, I was like, you know what? I just hired my first personal assistant and it's free because it's AI. It does all of the stuff described in this chapter almost. I'm not going to say all of them, like Bill's stuff. I'm pretty sure I don't use AI for them. But like writing emails, doing a lot of the like very hard tasks that I'm going to give you way too many examples. AI can do that for you. As an example, I just did it like a few days ago. I gave him a database of mine, of an analysis that I did, like data of 30 months, all the data. I was like, you know what? Here's the data, just analyze it and give me the decisions. I've already analyzed and made decisions myself, but I wanted to see what AI will see. Will he just flop? Will he just not work based on so much data? Or he will do a fantastic job? He did a fantastic job. He analyzed it with so precisely analyzed it. He gave me the reasons, he made the decisions, he gave me the reasons, he gave me ways to improve it. I was like, damn, that's better than even what I asked for. Obviously this is always comes with you knowing how to speak with him. It's the same thing with the assistant. Virtual assistant, you have to explain to her, here's what I want. And the same thing goes with AI. You have to explain to him, here's what I want. Sometimes maybe the virtual assistant might have something that she knows or whatever, that she'll answer in a certain way, whatever. And I'm pretty sure that AI does that too. So maybe there's a little bit of differences, but the core essence remains still the same. I was like, okay, that's awesome. I just hired my first employee. I actually just told AI, basically I just hired it twice. I gave him 2 jobs. I was like, you know what? Give me this, but now you are this. From now on, you are this. Let's say you are my virtual assistant. And I would be like, oh, this is awesome to hear. I'd love to be your virtual assistant, and I want to hear from you, and I want to help you all the time. And he will give you all what you want, and at the end, it will be like, oh, if this sounds good to you and resonate with you, that's awesome. If you have more ideas and you want me to help you with more stuff or whatever, I'm always here to help you. It's literally the work of virtual assistant. So now I'm going to speak more in depth. I'm going to give you more examples to comprehend how can you use AI to make a personal assistant. Because obviously when it comes to time, your virtual assistant can do stuff that are fully automated. As an example, you can say respond to my emails, all of them. And she will respond to your email, all of them. So with AI, there is a little bit of work that you have to pretty much like copy the email or whatever. I'm pretty sure there is some softwares out there, or if there's not, there will be, I'm sure, that you can use for you to do them. And also I'm pretty sure like if you are a sales or doing cold calls or whatever, cold emails, you basically write the email just multiple times, like the final versions. You type like, I don't know, 5 emails to like 5 different personality types or avatars, and you send them to so many people. And you can use actually way more to be more personalized using AI or using yourself for you to be more personalized, which is something that can a virtual assistant do, but as well as AI. So maybe virtual assistant will be less time consuming because there is less of you interrupting, and this is just with emails. The other stuff you pretty much like is the same, So just to clarify this, like in my personal experience, I've seen that like you have to talk with her and stuff like that. For short responses, like let's say Instagram, stuff like that, I usually don't use AI because I think just like it's better of an investment just to speak myself. But if it's an email or something that's of this value that you have to speak and there's not a lot of fast interactions, you pretty much sometimes you want some virtual assistant, and she will do the work for you. So that's awesome. That's like one thing you have to think about. But still, you have to comprehend a few other things. So I think one of the most important tasks that you can give AI is related to data. So there is a literal, like I've just met a data analyzer and collector about 1 or 2 months ago, one month and a half, so 6 weeks ago. He works with the soccer team, the national soccer team, and he collects the data of all the players. How many passes, how many this, how many that, the stats of every player. Imagine there is a job at the national team, which is like an official job that people do. So for you probably don't have a national team or anything. So you might as well use AI to get that job. If the national team does it, probably should do it too. I was like, okay, well, how does it make any sense? Basically, you collect your data. You can use AI to collect your data. You can be creative with that. So personally, I have my own data because it takes time, and it's like using AI, you don't need it because the collective data is all it's all the same, and pretty much you have to do it. I'm gonna tell you why. Because you know what they say is like, if you're a business owner and you don't have an accountant, you're not a business owner. Or at the beginning, you're a business owner and also you are your accountant. And also other people will say, if you're a business owner, the first one to hire is an accountant. Awesome. Why? Which is like fascinated me because I know like my business mentor like at some period had an accountant, and I was not talking to him actually, I just was looking. I was analyzing, and it said why he has an accountant. I don't have an accountant. I don't actually calculate how much I earn, how much my costs, how much I spend, how much anything, right? And the excuse I gave myself is like, it's not big enough. No, it doesn't matter what it is. You have to calculate, everything should be on a spreadsheet, right? And what's better, everything including stuff that are not accountant. And the reason why accountants are very valuable is because they collect your data. And they make you analyze it and make decisions based on data, which is the best accurate decisions that you can actually make. As an example, if every month I spend 30% of my spendings on water, probably there is some ways that I can make that cost efficient. Probably use different brands of water. Probably look for a natural way that I can get water for free, so I can win 30% of my spendings. And this goes on, right? And also the same thing with earnings. If like let's say 10% of my clients give me 80% of my results or 90% of my results, then might as well focus on them, not on the other 90% that only drives me 10% of my earnings. These are business-driven decisions and analysis, but also can be applied in every field. Literally, like in school, in other stuff. You can use this just to track all the metrics and be like, what are the metrics that gives me the highest ROI? What are the metrics that have bigger effect on me? Because my attention should be all driven to those. Because those are like, if 10% of my work gives me 80% of my results, I might as well give all my attention to that 10%. So it's the 20-80% rule, right? It's like 20% of your work gives you 80% of your results. In some cases, it's 95% versus 5%. Sometimes it's 10%. It's like that. But at least it will be like 20-80 rules, like at least. So it's something that you have to follow, and AI will really help you with that, because it's not only will help you to collect the data, because I'm pretty sure like there is a lot of ways, like you can just ask the right prompts or collect the data yourself, which is something that you should automatically do with or without having a virtual assistant, and analyze it yourself if you want to be accurate. But also the most important, let him analyze it. Especially if it's a big spreadsheet, there's a lot of numbers, a lot of that. Let the AI analyze it for you, because it's just easier. Like, think about it. He will analyze it, he will do the hard work for you, and also ask him to make the decisions, and also ask him to give you why he made those decisions, so you have a better understanding of the decisions that you are making about your business or your life or your habits or whatever it may be. Okay, this is awesome. I'm going to add just one extra tip here to make things like you have no excuses. Is that there's AIs right now, like the one that just got published by Google, which you can program your own AI by giving him the data. So as an example, you write a full breakdown of a process that you want to have. Like, think about it. Like, a lot of people, when they hire the first or second or 10th or whatever virtual assistant or employee, they will give him a spreadsheet or a word sheet or whatever, or a PDF where it goes through every step how you can do that. And it's one of the processes of hire, train, hire, recruit, train, right? You have to give them steps, the actionable steps that if they follow, they will 100% guarantee the results that you want. The thing you can do, get that, put it in the data of this AI. So basically, everything you want to ask will be just from that data, because that's what it is. AI is just, you give a question, it goes through the brain of the AI, and it collects it from all the data it has. If you control the data, you control what you want. So let's say your data, make it as your virtual assistant, put everything that your virtual assistant must know, and be like, oh, well, this is all what it is. And you just ask the questions. It will get the answers from those. And you can play with that as you will. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people will get to some crazy results just doing the process that I just mentioned last. So now I told you what's the importance of hiring your first virtual assistant. I showed you how to do it for free with AI. And also I gave you a lot of examples. Now I'm going to give you a secret of mine. The secret of mine is you have to use AI in different ways. Try to integrate AI, or don't try, do integrate AI in various fields of your life. So you explore AI now, and AI will explore you by consequence, which will help you, because the more data you give AI, the more personalized the answers will be. Right? And if you don't want them to be personalized, you can just ask them, just don't make it personalized. If you want it personalized, just add at the end as a result of all the prompts that I put in. It's like a few tricks that you have to know in order for you to know how to deal with the AI. Think about it as a relationship. Your wife, your whatever, your partner, you have to know how to deal with them to get what you want, okay? And that's basically what it is with AI. And look, I know I got through a lot of steps. And I know that some people will hate me for saying this. Some people will not believe what I said. Guess what? Give yourself just a few hours. This will not take too much. Give yourself 24 hours to hire first virtual assistant using AI and basically make AI your virtual assistant. I'm pretty sure that you will get to some crazy results. Subscribe.